Senior year, I graduated. I wrestled and ran track, so I was fit and strong, but I still weighed 135 pounds. Man, I can't do nothing with big boy. I can't compete.
Can't hold the jock strap, but it's okay.
It's tough.
But now look at you. You got your own thing going, right? So that's
I love it now, man. You know, it's all about, just like you said, back then they didn't want us. Now we hot. They all on it.
Shout out Mike Jones, man.
Is there anything better than a trip getting ready? Nope. For a long journey where our podcast released a new app and searching for a fade fiend. New fixation. Giving this a subscribe is the same sensation. Started with the day ones. They gave us fuel to support the season. Could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here for a reason. Notification bells, text some friends, all to let you know. Check your Bluetooth, connect, talk your ways and
Welcome in, everyone. Season 2, episode 3. Move, Rick. Get out the way. With our guest, Joey Way. Joey,
what's going on
first of all, Joey, we're gonna jump into some stuff because this is how I get down, man. Joey.
Let's talk about it.
What boy band were you a part of? Because you got the look and you got the name. Where'd you get your start? You was in a South Korea boy band and came to America? What's going on, Joey? This is all fake, right?
No, man, it's crazy, actually. I feel like I came into like who I am now, like later. So like high school, I was the nerd. I still am the nerd, don't get me wrong, but I was in orchestra, symphony, played viola for 12 years. I was a lot smaller than I was now. You know, I have all these tattoos now, very expressive of myself. And I think in my probably mid-20s really started to come into who I am now. I found like my style. I found who I wanted to be visually and what I was comfortable being in my own skin. So appreciate that, but definitely came into it later in life.
That beard came in nice, bro. It looks.
Hey, man. You know, it
ain't patchy.
It took some years, man. You had some struggle in there. Lots of trial and error, lots of cutting it off, letting it grow back. I got some homeboys with some like Teflon beards, so. I'm learning from the best when it comes to how to take care of your hair and stuff. So,
yo, did your dad have a beard?
No, it's crazy. My dad actually never grew his beard out. He was a military officer for 20 years. He was a lieutenant commander in the Navy. He never had a beard. He was always clean, kept, and shaven. So everything that you see from me is very much different than my dad. So
does he give you a hard time? I mean, Lieutenant Commander, he's probably like, Joey, I raised you better. You're looking rough.
Yeah, nah, he knows I am who I am. I'm very expressive, but at the same time, I'm professional. I think I've defied a lot of the odds when it comes to how you need to present yourself in the business workplace. And you know, he is who he is. My parents are old school, like hardcore military lifestyle, but I think it put me in a position to be, you know, understanding of the business world, but also maintaining who I am as a person. So,
yo, Joey, when you got a dad that's like that, we might get the mama, but we on Papa right now. You got to have those hospital corners before school every day. You got to make that bed and be able to bounce a quarter off. All that.
My dad, man. My parents used to literally like ground me if my room wasn't clean. If I left the house, that my bed being made, like all the small stuff that now being like 32, you take more appreciation of, because my house is spotless, man. You'll ask my wife about me. I'm super OCD. Everything's got a place. I deep clean once a week. We wash everything once a week. Like we're super on our stuff, man. So I think all that stuff kind of helped me get ready to where I'm at now in life, which is, you know, just being a very well kept man. So,
Joey, and this episode is over. Joey, you just ruined all these ladies that were swapping. We're gonna have clips that'll be on YouTube. They're gonna see you and they'll be like, "Oh my God, we ain't even 5 minutes in. You had to tell them you married. Come on, Joey, you got to string it along. You got to help a brother out."
It's part of who I am now. So I'm always down to talk about my lady. Now we've been together for quite some time. So, but sorry to disappoint anybody. That's
the fastest. That's the fastest I think I got anybody to say I'm sorry on a podcast episode. But hey, Joey, though, no, If anything, I mean, I was joking, but the reality is, I bet there's a lot of ladies that are gonna sit through this, and they're gonna be like, okay, he's 32, he already done locked it down, he all about his boo. Let me learn some more so I know what I need to go find. I mean, I think there's nothing but positives too, because it could be a lot of negatives. Yeah, it's hard out here.
Yeah, the dating world's weird, man. I've had a couple like previous relationships that were deep. I was with, another woman for off and on better part of 3.5, 4 years. And I think, once you take some time to really assess who you are, I think you see the world for what it is, and you know what you want in life, and you really have to find somebody that aligns with those goals and what you expect out of a partner. And, I did the dating thing for a while, man. The Austin scene is insane. There's a lot of interesting people out there, and you just have to kind of talk it through, man, and kind of see who can match your level of energy, who can match your smarts, what you want to do in life. You got to have common goals. If you don't have common goals, it doesn't work. I've tried all of it. So, now being with who I am now, she's great. We've been together for a total about 4 years. We've been married for 6 months. So it's fresher, but man, the dating scene is crazy. You got to navigate accordingly.
Yo, congrats, man. I celebrate 10 years in marriage into this month.
Oh man, that's crazy. How's it been for you? Because I mean, that's got to be like tough, right?
It's been amazing, man.
Yeah.
We can get into some dating stuff. I mean, there's some people out there that could use this info. Yo, yeah, man, I believe what you said is they gotta match energy. Don't change who you are. Like the third date, I showed up on my Harley and was like, "Yo, girl, let's go." Didn't say nothing. Now know, Joey. You show up on a motorcycle and have an extra helmet. They when they come out the house, that's how they find out. Because I texted her, I was like, "Hey, I'm out here. Come on out." She comes out, hair done, nails done, everything done, right? You telling her to put on gloves, put a helmet over the. But she was like, "Yo, let's go." And that's how I knew. That was one of the reasons that I knew this the one right here. But Joey, why does it take us so long? Why do so many of us take so long to figure this out? That we got to find someone to match your energy, because we could find OG triple fat OGs like you. If you would have known me 15 months ago before you met this lady, sorry, maybe y'all known each other for 2.5 years, but bear with me. You could have been like, yo, Donato, yo, put me up on game, dog. But we don't do that. We Google everything else. A lot of us don't do that. Why?
The craziest part, so like I talk about this often with like my boys, because I have a lot of friends who aren't married yet. Granted, like I'm 32 and by no means old. Like everybody's got time, right? Everybody operates. Like, I've had friends that have been married since they were 22. I've had friends that got married in their mid-20s. I got friends that are getting married and they're almost 40. I got a friend that's getting married next month. He's 37, 38. Like everybody's got different timelines. So it's not about the win. Like you just have to know when it's right for you. And I think for people in general, like the brain, like human nature, you're not meant to be monogamous, right? Like it's a function of the brain. They get to like accept and want to be with one person. Just humans by nature are not made to be with one person. That's just what I believe. Like you truly have to want that person to be your one partner for as long as it's supposed to be, whether that's, a few years or forever. Right. So I think that's the first thing that people have to accept and want to ultimately like do, because the ones that really want the relationships, the ones that really want, the life, the ones that really want the togetherness, like they're about it. Like they're serious. And I think a lot of people, especially, I mean, men more so than women, because I think women are really nurturers by nature. There's more motherly, and there's just not a lot of I would say great candidates out there. It could be men or women. I've met some women that are terrible, but I think it starts with just the acceptance of wanting that. And if you don't truly want that for yourself, then just wait. Because I said to myself, like, if I didn't meet my current, like my wife, my partner right now, I probably would have never gotten married. I was totally okay. I was totally okay being on my own. I'm very self-sufficient. You know, I got everything I need like for myself, but then you meet somebody else that comes into the fold that really changes your perspective on wanting to be a better man. Like there's things that she's done for me that's made me change as a man. So like be having more empathy, like patience and understanding, like those things that when you're single and on your own, you don't have to worry about because you got you, right? Like that's all you care about. So a lot of understanding and a lot of education and just self-evaluation. So just things you got to think about whenever you step into that realm. And a lot of people just aren't ready for it. And that's okay. Like I've got boys that are probably going to be single bastards until they're in their 40s. Like that's just what they want to be. Like, and more power to them because, you know, at the end of the day, I think our generation has changed the game a lot for like what expectations are for your life. Like I think our parents' generation was more so like, oh, you have all these milestones and you get married by the time you're 25, you have kids before 30, and you do all these things in this chronological order as it's made to be. And I think a lot of people are starting to stray away from that and do things on their own time, which I respect. You just have to find somebody that's right for you.
Joe, you done took me all off, man. I had a place I wanted to go. You took me a different way. That's
okay. We can talk about that. Yeah, I saw that. I heard that.
Okay. I want to, just because this was one of the things I did want to get to, and since I've already started the way jokes, Usher, My Way. Yeah. I purposefully didn't go with the name of this episode, but I really wanted to. I probably would have had to sung that intro in My Way. But
hey man, you can have me back on later on and do that. So
hey, look at this guy. This guy knows. He's like, yo, just have me back, bro. I appreciate that. I like what you did there. You know, in sales, you know, you got to ask for the sale, right? Most people don't ask for the sale. You got to say
always be closing. ABC, baby.
That's closed mouth don't get fed. Joey, what's up with these people, man? Oh, they'll read my mind. They'll get the hint. Nah. What? You gotta be direct. You gotta be assertive. Joey, I want to get back because you started us down this path. So, man, we're gonna talk relationship just a little bit longer here.
Yeah, that's cool.
Joey, y'all got gender roles, or y'all sharing stuff?
We share stuff, man. I think we do things as equals. Obviously, there's some things that tailor more towards a woman. Like, I'm not gonna make my wife go cut the grass or dig some holes for landscaping or stuff. Like if she wants to, super cool, but we share cleaning responsibilities around the house, like all that stuff that is like old school, old fashioned mentality where she cooks dinner all the time. No, I actually do a lot more cooking than she does. Like tonight's Tuesday, she loves tacos, so it's Taco Tuesday in her house, and that's like the one thing she loves to make. So I let her have that, but most of the time, man, I'm cooking for us, or we have date night twice a week and we'll go out and we like to eat food. So we'll go try new spots and just, just bond over food, which is kind of like one of my love languages. But yeah, gender roles, man, I don't really believe in that. I think it's kind of nonsense. Like, I mean, people have different opinions on that, but I think if somebody's got like a desire or a calling to step in and do something for the relationship, cool, do it. Like that's totally fine with me. But yeah, there's some things like she's not going to do. Like she's not going to cut the grass, and I don't ever expect her to. Like that's something I like to do personally. So I'm not going to wake up on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. and expect her to be outside cutting the yard. So that's something like that, sure. But yeah, like cleaning and cooking and that all those dynamics, man, we share all those responsibilities. It was kind of natural. Like we didn't like map it out. But I understand that other people operate possibly differently. So I don't want to like, blanket statement that, but for us now, man, we do what we do and it works. I mean, we both have great jobs. She does hair and she makes great money and super happy for her. And we don't do this whole like the traditional financial situation where you're like sharing all the money. Like I'm a firm believer in people having their own thing. Like I believe in ownership of something, and for her to have her own money, for me to have my own money, and then for us to have a joint savings together where we want to save for our future outside of retirement and everything else, like a doomsday account or something like that. Like that's how we operate it. It works fine. gender roles, I think for me are it's just like it's a little too much. It adds an unnecessary thought to a relationship where it should just be more natural. Like if somebody wants to do something, cool, and work together as long as you're on the same page. It doesn't really matter.
Joey, I was gonna save this for my radio show tomorrow.
Yeah,
but you got to get a peek behind. I'm gonna still do it. I think I'll still do it tomorrow. But I gotta ask you. Let me get it here. I gotta ask you this question. Just tell me what's the first thing. What's the first thing that you're gonna say to someone that's flirting with your partner?
First thing I'm gonna say, how can I help you? I think is the politically correct answer. It might be a little more crazy than that depending on what's happening, but yeah, how can I help you? Is a good one. Yeah.
That is a good one. That was I didn't see it going that way. I like it.
Yeah,
let's get back. I like to start back and then come forward. So you were a military brat.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about military bases. I lived across from Little Creek Amphib Base down in Virginia, Norfolk area, Virginia Beach. I don't know if you guys spent time around there. It's hard. So to make it easy on people, do you just claim where you lived the longest as a kid, or maybe where you enjoyed the most as a kid?
Yeah, I mean, I basically grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so for all intents and purposes, I'm from there. But I was born on a military base in Bethesda, Maryland. My whole family's from New Orleans, so obviously I'm there a lot growing up. But my upbringing is Dallas-Fort Worth. I mean, I'll claim Arlington very proudly. But I've lived a lot of places, both as a kid and as an adult. So I think all that kind of impacts and helps you grow and mature. Just kind of see the world outside in one lens. But yeah, from the military perspective, I grew up, Dallas-Fort Worth is my home. So always will be.
Yeah. I think sometimes you got to simplify it for people because you'll confuse them like, well, I lived here, I lived there, I lived there. And they're like, what?
They be asking a lot of questions. They don't get it. So
you just got to just give them something, and that way it can keep moving. The people who you really know and really care about, then you can go down that path and tell them all the places you've been. Mr. Way, Joey Way. Again, that's the fake name though, right? I mean, if you're running from something, it's cool, bro. I mean, I ain't gonna tell nobody.
No, man. My last name really is Way. I've heard all the jokes. I've heard all the puns. But yeah, Joseph Way, man. I named after my dad, so I'm a junior. God willing, we have a kid, and we have a boy. He'll be the third. So
yeah,
I got to keep the lineage going, man. Somebody's got to keep it up. So it's gonna be me.
I got 2 girls and a boy. My boy is the third.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah. I did it. I'm the second, and my dad didn't go with Junior. Back in Brooklyn, there was a cousin that came over, and the mom used to always sing this. I'm gonna call some familial drama now. But when they all see this, the mom used to yell "Junior" like really loud, and my dad was like, "Man, it made my skin crawl." So I said, if I have a son and if I name him, it ain't gonna be Junior; it'd be the second. So that's what's on the birth certificate. I'm the second. So I did the third. So Joey, I want to come back. You were talking about nerd. I mean, I got some action figures right there. I got a life-size Yoda there. What can I say?
Love it.
You said it took you a while though. So as a blurred, as we're called sometimes, affectionately called a blurred, but as a nerd, in high school, did you get voted nerdiest fellow?
No, I played sports in high school. Like I played basketball and soccer. I did a bunch of things, but I was in orchestra as well, which some of my best friends to this day were in orchestra with me. So we all kind of came up together. I got some really smart friends that were in orchestra. I got guys that are doing some wild things in their adulthood that stem from them being super talented on their instruments. But yeah, like in high school, I mean, I was the skinny kid. I had a lot of friends that played sports. I mean, I was in a big 5A school district, so we had some kids go pro from from our high school. Miles Garrett was one. Yeah, I went to high school with him. We knew he was going pro. I mean, ninth grade. I mean, he was a man amongst boys. So a lot of that. But yeah, for me, like I love playing video games. I still play video games to this day. I was a Halo player forever. I went to a lot of tournaments, so I was just surrounded by like the video game nerds of the school, which was fine with me. I was friends with everybody, so like I think I translated well across different groups of people, but I wasn't like a student council or anything like that. But I mean, I could have graduated early. I stayed because I wanted to be with my friends. I went to a very large high school. But I started college early. I was starting college courses at 16. My junior and senior year, I would either leave high school early. So as you got to, senior year, you had less classes. And I would leave high school around like 12:31 and then go to the local community college to continue taking classes for my 4-year degree. And so whenever I graduated high school, I was already almost halfway done with my sophomore year of college with credits. So that's how I ended up graduating college, like barely turning 21. It was maybe a month out from being 21. So it all kind of started like stacking together. But I was really about the books. I was taking like accounting classes in high school when kids were doing home ec and other stuff that makes no sense, like home theater and home ec and stuff, like all that stuff that, you want to go make coffee cake with your buddies at 10 a.m. I was in accounting, learning principles of accounting 1 and 2 at 16 years old. So all that stuff kind of helps you set you up for your future. But I think a lot of people just don't get put on that same path when they're that young. So they're not as fortunate. So
Joey, how does a person decide what they're going to major in when you get to college? Was that a hard decision for you? Or like you said,
that's the crazy part. Yeah, that's crazy. Cause like at 18, like, how do you know what you really want to do in life? Like some people do, like some people are just destined for things like whether it's a pro football or like you're born to do this. But I think a lot of people don't really know what they want to do when they're 18. And, going to college is great. If I could do, I went to community college and, I don't have any college debt. I did community college and then I went to the local university and I had a scholarship. So I paid almost nothing out of pocket and my parents were able to cover the small state tuition at that time.
Well done.
Yeah. But I had friends that went to like Baylor and TCU and like all these massive private schools, paid all this money for a 4-year degree and didn't really do anything with it. Dead up to their eyeballs from that. But I don't really think you know what you want to do when you're 18. When I was 18, I thought I wanted to be an accountant. And I got my associates in accounting, and then I got to the university, and I took my first like high level accounting course, and I was literally like, I do not want to do this. This is horrible. it's so much. It's just so much like memorization of laws and all this stuff I didn't want to do. Yeah. All this stuff I just didn't want to do. So my mom was a CPA. She's retired now, but so that kind of influenced me at the beginning, and then I just kind of found my own way, and I just figured it out. But if I could do it all over again, I would have gone to trade school. I mean, military was always an option, but I wanted to have my 4-year degree. If I was going to go to the military to go right to officer candidate school, I wasn't going to go in enlisted. I had a lot of friends that did. They worked out for them. That's great. But yeah, I would have gone to trade school, man. I would have learned how to be a plumber or something because I got some friends, man. That are killing it in the construction industry, and they own their own businesses, like plumbers, electricians. I mean, master electricians, and if I could do it all over again, that's what I would do. I'm really good with my hands, so like being a mechanic or something like that would have been fun. Who knows? I mean, I'm only 32. I still got time, so you never know.
I've always said I would have done trade school. I would have been an air conditioner mechanic. I mean, man. You see how high, what did we get? 100 and whatever today? You got to be kidding me. And
that's the one thing that AI can't take from you, right? Like AI is sucking out jobs left and right, but at the end of the day, they're going to need a plumber. they're going to need a mechanic. They're going to need all these, very handsy positions, and it's a dying breed, man. So yeah, totally agree with you.
Joey, there are a lot of things that, you want people to be able to say good things about you. Like there are a lot of things you want them to say. Like you want your name to carry. You want your reputation to carry. How I found you, my people were coming to me and was like, "Hey, you got to get this guy on the pod." I'm like, "What? You ain't even catch my last 3 episodes. You telling me what I got to get on the pod?" But
yeah,
it's because you donated to a school over in Rancho Siena, and you got, so they're like, it's almost like an advertisement, but smart on you, because now everybody get to see your name. But it was like Joey Wade, I'm out here, peeps. That's not what it said. That's not what it said, people. But what I'm saying is it had that effect though. And it was very effective. Now I'm going to say you are a man of the community, but if the streets is loving you like that, if the community is loving you like that, I mean, I've already had one gentleman that's running for a position on my pie. Politics in your future, you civic duty, is that calling?
Man, this is funny because like my dad, he's served on like the Rotary Club Council in Arlington. He's big in the community in Arlington, very big. I don't have a desire to be in the political spotlight. I just like being in the community, and I like being part of the community, and I like being somebody that people can trust, and whether that's business relationships or otherwise. The political crosshairs is just something I don't know if I'm ready to do, but I'm not going to totally rule it out, because I do think representation matters. I do think there's a lack of diversity in a lot of these positions, and so somebody who's got the ability to do so should absolutely consider it. For me right now, it's not in the cards, but I could see myself in the future possibly stepping into some kind of representation role like that. So Joey, you got the tats, man. Yeah, man. I'm everywhere. You got the platinum tongue. You got the look. I bet I know what you do. And I didn't read anything on the wall right away. But tell me if I'm right. Yeah. You are a stripper. No. Okay, give me one more guess. Give me one more guess. All right. You with a name like Joey Way. I got it. I know what you do. You are the guy. I lost it. I don't know. It seems like I'm getting a vibe, but then he's got the tats, so he's got that edge. But okay, you're a banker. No, I am not a banker. That's a good guess though, because I do like finances. I do like money. So what do you do, Joey? What do you do? Yeah, man. So it's funny. I'm a man of many things. My day job that pays me and takes care of my bills. I'm in tech consulting. I've been in the industry for 6 years now, and that's a whole story in itself. But then my other side hustles, I do real estate. So real estate agent. I actually knew that. I just wanted to play a game. I figured so. Yeah. So sell some homes on the side, take care of the community. I do a lot of other like small stuff too. I used to be big on resale. During COVID, I was flipping shoes, anything that could make a dollar. But yeah, my 2 biggest incomes right now are tech consulting and real estate. So, but that was a good guess. Well, I wanted to go with the absurd first, so I started with the stripper. Yeah. And a lot of people were like, wait, let's hear his answer. Let's hear him out. So we got that one out the way. But Joey, real estate in the fastest growing city in America. I heard it got taken from us here. I live in Leander. But you're not far from me. So I'm in that community. That's why those people came to me, because they were like, yo, check this dude out. He's I was like, yeah. And to your point, I do like
I also, one of my things is the diversity, because I got a lot of friends from a lot of different walks of life. And, you know, I used to listen to and follow a lot of podcasts, but then there wasn't a lot of diversity. And then especially, you know, as me as a host, that was the other thing I said is, man, I want to get in there. So Joey, for you, it's got to be a challenge, because so we had the initial rush of everyone getting to Austin. Now the word is out. People are here. And I know it slowed down because, like I said, I thought we lost the fastest growing. So now you've got to push. You got to keep pushing with the growth, right? Because it's heading out to Liberty Hill. Or do you see enough happening right here? Because there's the guy who bought this house 8 years ago. And when he got here, this was quiet. Like there was just deer running through. But now there's all these people, all these neighbors, and it's just so congested. So now that person wants to move. So there's enough of those guys, or you got to chase the new development?
It's a mixed bag. So I love new construction sales. I'm a specialist in new construction sales. I'm a accredited buyer representative. So I tailor to the buyers. I would say, to go back to your original question, the market's changed a lot. I've been in the game for a little over 2 years now, but you saw a lot change from peak COVID until now. What you have going on is there's a lot of people that quite honestly overpaid for houses, and there's no way to sugarcoat that. It's just what it is. So what you're seeing is a lot of people overpaid during COVID because the frenzy was insane. It was just doing this, and there was no end in sight to the price gouging that was coming from both new construction and sellers that were fortunate enough to get out of homes that they really didn't pay much for. So what you have happening now is there is a ton of homes on the market in the Georgetown area, in the Leander area, in Liberty Hill. What you're seeing is there's a combination of sellers that bought homes in 2021, 2022 that are looking to move on from the house because either one of three things: they need to move for a new life-changing opportunity, they move states, move cities, whatever, and they need to sell their house. Number two, they overpaid for their house and they're house poor, and they're trying to get into something that's more affordable because whatever was going on back in 2022, they decided they want to buy this massive house that they didn't need, very expensive house they didn't need. So they can be upside down on the value of their mortgage. So what I mean by that is they paid $500,000 for this property back in 2022, new construction from a builder in the same development. And that same developer in 2024 selling the same floor plan, same home in a different phases of the development for $40, $50 a square foot less than what they paid for in 2022. And so the value of their home's crushed. They have no equity. They're actually negative on their equity because now their home's worth, let's just call it $100K less than what they paid for 2 years ago. And so they're upside down and they need to get out of it, but they can't take $100K loss because that's just negative equity that they have to pay back at some point. So they're trying to price their home for more than what it's actually worth, and it's just sitting on the market, and they have no way out of it other than taking a significant loss on the deal. Number three is, again, the new construction prices are quite honestly holding the market as far as what the price is going to be for homes. I mean, the way that they're throwing out incentives and throwing out means for people just to come buy a house, whether it's reducing the rate to an absurdly low rate. I mean, there's builders out here that are giving out sub 4% interest rates right now just to move houses. Like you can't compete with them. They have infinite pockets. They have, they hold all the cards. They'll take a loss on a house just to move it. That's how crazy this is right now. So it's a nasty market, man. I quite honestly, it's slow. Again, this is not my single source of income. I did it on the side just for additional money, just to pay for other things I want to do in life. And I went into it with that mentality, and it's an organically growing business for me. But I try to specialize with buyers that are looking for deals because I know where the deals are. I've had some seller conversations, but again, I'd rather not take your listing and just be honest with you and not be that agent that has your property sitting on the market forever. So it's a weird game right now, and I think with all the changes that are happening in both the market, and then of course with everything that's happening with the NAR Association of Realtors, with how you have to disclose everything on a transaction now down to what the commissions are. It's a bunch of legal changes. I think it's going to shift the market differently for a lot of real estate agents in the coming months to, probably the next 2 years. You're probably going to see a lot of agents exit the game because this is what they depend on for their living and they don't have another option. So they got to figure out new careers. It's tough.
Yeah. Yeah. You broke that down pretty well, sir. Hey, we got another side hustle, substitute teacher. Get you out here. Just, just pop in, pop out. You tell a good story. You keep it interesting though.
Yeah. You only have so many hours in the day though. So
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. If I didn't have a wife and stuff, maybe some other opportunities. Right. So.
Nah, Joey, I was joking. Don't go to school. Bro. I don't go to school. No. I remember we had the substitute teacher. He was, he worked out. So he had like this big chest and he wore really tight, like eyes shirts. And I remember it was a PE class. And man, I'm telling you, the girls were so distracted. If he would have told the girls to go wait outside and look back in through the window, I bet they would have done it to participate in class with this guy. It was annoying, bro. And then how are we all supposed to compete? Senior year, I graduated. I wrestled and ran track. So I was fit and strong, but I still weighed 135 pounds. Man, I can't do nothing with big boy. I can't compete.
Can't hold the jock strap, but it's okay.
It's tough.
But now look at you. You got your own thing going, right? So that's
I love it now, man. It's all about, just like you said, back then they didn't want us. Now we hot. They all on it.
Shout out Mike Jones, man. He's doing big things in Houston. I've been following him for a while. He's a real estate guy. He's popping.
Oh,
so. Yeah.
I heard he got his phone number back. He lost it for a while there.
Yeah.
And then but he's got it back. That's the most famous. There's been a few guys that have done that. There was a hair band that did it. Oh, in the 80s. Oh, I'm trying to remember who that was. But again, Mike Jones got this century on lock when it comes to his phone number. Joey, explain something. Did you say you played the viola?
I played the viola for 12 years, man. Yeah.
Oh, bro, you got to do some explaining there. What's the difference between a viola? Viola?
Yeah, viola and violin.
Viola. What's the difference between the two?
Yeah, it's just the strings on the instrument. So the viola is a little bit bigger and it's got a deeper string assignment to it. So the violin is more like the what's the right word? The higher pitched sounds, right? And so the viola goes a little bit deeper, and then you get into the cello, and then you get into the bass. So it's just a bigger looking violin with a deeper sound, to put it simply.
Okay, so the violin is the smallest, then the viola, and then cello
and bass. Yep.
Okay. Well, that helps because I didn't know anything about the sizes there. Now, and you can make fun of me, but I'm just kind of curious here. Just because you play the viola, that viola, crap, man. Which way is it? Viola, viola?
You can do viola. How about that? Viola.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Are you automatically nice with the violin?
I would say that there's similarities, but even the notes on the page are differently. So you're transposing music. Yeah, you're transposing the music a little bit differently between each instrument. So it not technically the same by any means, because again, it's just different. So you're looking at the musical bars, everything's just placed a little bit differently on the page. You're reading the notes differently between each instrument. So I wouldn't say that that's synonymous now.
Are you still in the game? You still pull it out every now and then?
Unfortunately, no. So when I graduated high school, I got so busy with other things in life, and it's one of those things where if you don't practice every day, if you're not involved with it, it's hard to keep up with it. And I had a very expensive viola that I was fortunate that my parents were able to afford for me, to play for 12 years. And I ended up selling my instrument to another kid who was on the come up who needed a great instrument. And my parents found this parent that needed an instrument, and we took care of it. So somewhere in the world, my viola is floating around. Not sure where it's at this point. It lives on, but I gave it a good run for 12 years, man. It's one of those things that helps you like just stay focused. You're using a different part of your brain. You're thinking about things differently. That musical mentality just helps in so many areas of life. So I wouldn't trade it for the world. I could probably pick it back up and learn quicker, but I don't really have a desire at this point. I just like to do other things. So,
I hate to do this.
No,
talk to us about a fiddle.
What about it?
Is that actually a viola? Is it its own thing? It's not even.
I actually don't really know, but I would have to assume it's more of a violin-esque. I don't know if it's just like the shapes differently, but if I had to put my guessing finger on it, it's probably geared more towards a violin.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't want to go there. I was going to work my way down, but if you think about it, when the country players start getting down with that fiddle, the rest of us don't know. And I've never had a chance to ask anybody. I think there's a lot of people that were like, oh, good job, Donato, because I ain't know the difference between them all either. Mm-hmm. Hey, give us the baddest song that we might know of that's got the viola in it.
I mean, so the thing is, if you look at a musical sheet for an orchestra, everything's transposed for each instrument. So any song that you're hearing, it's got music. It's got every instrument as a part of that overall sound. So like anything Beethoven that you're hearing, there's a viola part, there's a cello part. Everybody has a sheet of music that's transposed for their instrument. And it's part of the overall sound. So not one song I would say stands out for a viola exclusively that I can think of off the top of my head, but I was in a symphony orchestra all throughout junior high and high school. So I always played with the other instruments involved, including some of the brass instruments as well. So we would do like cross collaborations with the band department, and we would play like these massive concerts, and everybody had their own sheet of music. So I would say it's a team effort when it comes to the beautiful sounds of music. So,
is there drama between the band nerds and the orchestra nerds? Like y'all beefing?
Everybody thinks that they're the best thing smoking, man. You have band, you got choir, you have orchestra. So those are like the three major I would say like powerhouses of the music departments, right? So everybody's got their own thing going. There's always bragging rights with like, UIL, you go to tournaments and compete for trophies and stuff like that. And we would always bring home first or second place. And so there's always like those competitions in-house, but it's friendly. I mean, everybody's got such different like avenues of sound. So I wouldn't say it's any like death matches or anything like that.
All right. This might be the last one, but I know y'all. I know something y'all will pull a knife on each other for is to get that first chair, right? First chair, second chair. Like you always hear that. Did you ever make it to first chair?
Yeah. So I was first chair all through high school. That was like
see, you gotta be all humble about it. You should have led with that, Mr. Wade.
Oh man. So my brothers and I have two brothers. One played the violin, one played the cello, and I played the viola. We were always first chair in high school. So I'm 2 years older than them. So they made symphony their second year of high school. So my last 2 years of high school, we played together in the same group in symphony. So that was cool. But we were all first chair. So that was the bragging rights of the Wade family.
I see that. So. Papa Wade didn't play. He said, fellas. I'm Joe Jackson.
And
y'all gonna be Y'all were the Partridge Family, just
humble,
out of Dallas
humble brag though, humble brags. So
no, man, no respect. It's a great accomplishment. You know, we all, those of us who've never done that, we always hear that kind of stuff. First chair, I got to get first chair. So I'm glad you broke that down, and congrats on getting it and locking it down. So you said you played a little basketball. What's that game looking like nowadays? How often you get out there?
I'm old now, bro. So the movements. I had a friend that was a baller in high school, and he went out and played some pickup like last year, and he blew out his Achilles. And I'm like, that's exactly why I do not set foot on the court anymore. I'll shoot around by myself, but I'm not playing no pickup, no 5-on-5. I'm not doing any of that. So high school, I was a point guard, and then I stopped growing. And then once you stop growing, you're rendered useless to the overall needs of the team. So I learned the hard way, man, and about adversity and picking yourself up when you're down and learning and do something else. I went and played soccer for a couple of years after that, and then I got into weightlifting, and then I found my own path. But basketball is cool, man. I love basketball. I watch it all the time. But as far as me participating in the game, I'm by myself. I'll shoot by myself. I'm not playing with nobody. I'm too old, man.
Joey, let's talk about the differences there. Basketball, I always think some of the best athletes are playing basketball because of what it takes. And then you switch over to play soccer?
Yeah.
That's like two difference. You go from sprinting to like cross country. How did you make that? Wild. You must be a heck of an athlete.
I like to run. So some of that translated pretty well. It was funny because like in my school, if you weren't playing select sport, you weren't playing select soccer, like you weren't on some soccer club, like you weren't making the team. And I remember I just like walked on freshman year and just wanted to see what if I could make it, and made it. Played for 2 years, had a knee injury. My sophomore year took me out, and then I just relaxed the rest of high school. But I played soccer when I was like really young. It was like my first sport ever. So running and all that was always part of my arsenal. And I still run to this day. But yeah, the game's different now. Like I said, I do things to stay healthy, not to blow out a knee or something. So
yeah. So what kind of cardio are you doing now? Stationary bike, elliptical, or you jog?
So do a lot of elliptical, Stairmaster, treadmill, just to stay active and keep motion going. I sit down a lot for my day job, so like I'm in this office chair like 8 hours a day minimum. So you got to get active in the afternoon. So I'll always try to get a cardio session in. But yeah, cardio, anything to stay active and move around is what I'm about. So,
hey, which one? I rushed the way. Which one of the Way brothers is the nicest on the basketball court?
Oh, it's me without a doubt.
Come on, you know they're gonna see this, Joey. You know they're gonna see
fine. No, that's fine. I would say one of them. Yeah, I mean, I think we all have the things that we're good at, but basketball wise, they're not touching me with that.
I like it. Hey, okay, so what about Papa Way? Because you didn't have a normal dad, bro. Like your dad had to work out. He was tested once a year for the Navy, so he was in great shape.
He's an OG. His old pictures, man. Yeah, his old pictures, and you look back on him, and he was diced. He was looking good. Obviously, my dad's like 70 now, so he just maintains staying healthy in his older age at this point. Yeah. But I was in physique for a couple of years back in like 2018. So the genetics were there. Yeah, genetics were there. But yeah, my dad was nice back in the day. He was a different breed. Had to stay in physical top shape. So. Then the military makes you do that.
So you did a couple physique competitions?
I did, yeah. That was a part of my life where I just wanted to explore things and try it out. I was 26, 27, and wanted to see what I could do. And I looked great. I was diced, but man, that whole lifestyle is just not maintainable. So I did it, called it quits, and moved on with my life. But I still maintain a lot of the good habits from that. But yeah. I got friends that do it full time, and I don't know how they do it because my body was messed up for a while after that. So
yeah, you can't walk around at stage weight. That ain't happening. You got just enough energy to get that pump backstage, get out under those lights, and then as soon as it's over, all right, where are we headed?
Carbs immediately. Carbs immediately.
By the next day, if it's a Friday night show, come Monday morning, you got about 12 pounds back on you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was literally like a 26-inch waist on stage, which is insane. Yeah, I mean, I walk around like a 31, so it's a 26. Man, I had my board shorts. I was looking at them, and they're like this big. I'm like, man, like that was a crazy time in my life. I was so small. I was like 147 pounds on stage, like 3% body fat, just totally dialed in. But yeah, none of that. All the stuff I had to do to get to that point, granted, I was natural, but all the stuff I had to do to get to that point was just like, yeah, this is not worth it. So I did it. So I said I did it, and I just moved on.
What was your body part? Did you have amazing abs? You had some nice lats. You had some good shoulders, biceps.
It was the lats, shoulders, and just the obliques, man. I was just shredded. I had zero waistline. Like, I mean, I look back on those photos to this day, and it's like, my wife obviously didn't know me back then. I showed her pictures, and she's like, "How?" And I was like, "Man, I was locked in for the better part of a year. I didn't drink any alcohol. Like, there's just things you got to do differently, and it's like, for me, it's not realistic stuff." So, I prefer to enjoy life a little bit more. So I stay healthy, but I'm not gonna say no to any tequila. So.
No, I get that. We're a vodka family over here.
Oh man,
that
is deadly stuff right there. I stick.
I blame my wife. I blame the wife.
That's fair.
She's the one. She's from Los Angeles. They go hard out there. They go hard out there. Joey, when it comes to being a physique competitor. A person that was as driven as you were through high school. I mean, you set us up with an amazing little backstory, man. And I think a lot of the stuff that you told us about being a musician, first chair, you're painting a nice picture as to where you're at right now. So I want to know, where are you going, Joey Way? What do you see down the road? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
That's a great question, and I think about it often because I don't have plans in being in tech consulting for the rest of my life. I mean, it's an industry that it's very mentally tough. You have to lock in every day. You're dealing with clients. They're paying a lot of money for your services, and so I'm on calls a lot, and I'm stressed, and I'm tired, and I don't love it, but I do it because I'm good at it, and I like taking care of people. So, future expectations and roadmap, man, almost to be determined. Like, I'm setting myself up for some things, like. I'm big in project management in the tech space, so I'm trying to expand there, find a new lane, get my my PMP certification, and keep growing in that space. I don't really know for sure, but I have things I have levers to pull. I'm in real estate. I can parlay that. Financial services is always an option. If you can do sales, you can do anything. I did sales for the first 8 years of my career outside of college. So if you can master sales, you can master the transparency of sale, and you can master client expectations and just being available. You can do a lot in life. I think it sets you up to do a lot of things. So to be determined, but I have ideas and just kind of building that roadmap for future success still.
Joey, some people, unlike you being a military brat, some people have lived in one place. They could tell you who their 5th grade teacher was, 6th grade teacher, 7th grade. They can tell you this. You've lived a lot of different places. And it sounds when you were a military brat, and then also sounds like as an adult, where are you going to retire at? Where have you been? You're like, that's the spot. That's where I'm going to do it.
So, I mean, Mexico is obviously one, but the one that I really love, like Bali, Indonesia. I was there with my wife for our honeymoon for 2 weeks, and easily the best trip of my life. It's so beautiful out there, and it is so cheap. The people out there are amazing. The culture, the food, everything is amazing. The beaches are incredible. If that could be the plan of the future, it would be there. More realistically, probably be somewhere in Mexico on a beach. love Mexico, love the people, love the culture, love the food. I do very well down there. So either one of those places would be ideal. Locally, stateside, I mean, I love California, love San Diego. If it wasn't so expensive, I would live there in a heartbeat. But it is what it is at this point. But future roadmap for sure.
Bro, how'd you get all this beach life and you from a landlocked area, Dallas, Fort Worth? Y'all probably ain't got a real lake up there.
No, we got some lakes, but that's exactly why I started to explore. You got to get out of your element. And
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The beaches. I mean, I went to my first time in Mexico. I was 24, and I immediately fell in love with it. Loved the beaches, loved the sand, loved the water, and so yeah, that really started like setting me up for future trips, and then it kept stacking the trips, started going more places and exploring. I've been everywhere in Mexico. And then of course Bali was an opportunity for my wife and I, and the travel was terrible, but once we were there, man, it was breathtaking. Like literally some of the best surfing beaches in the world are in Bali. So if you can do it, if you can make that trip, I tell anybody, like anybody that asks me, I'm like, man, you need to go to Indonesia if you can get out there. Cause yeah, it's something different. It's incredible. It's a different way of life. Everybody just loves it. It's a different breed of people, man. They're carefree. They love, they just love conversation. Nobody's watching TV out there. I don't think I turned a TV on for 2 weeks when I was out there with my wife. We didn't watch a single TV. Had no idea what was going on with politics and none of that. So that was nice. But yeah, man, the beach life is for me. We'll see how it goes.
So Eric LaSalle, tell us one thing. You see what I did? I actually met him. I was at a salsa convention out in Palm Desert, California, and he was there. Him and his wife were big salsa dancers. I teach Latin dance. But he was out there, and I was like, man, I don't want to do it. I went up to him. Really cool. But do people say that you look like him? Do you get that?
Yeah, I get a lot of things. Evan Ross has always been like my doppelganger, apparently. So I get that quite a bit to this day still. But yeah, I've gotten a few matches, but I like to think I'm one of one. So
yeah. No, I had to do that because I know some people are just doing the audio, and now I got to give them a reason to come back and do the video too. See, it's all a game, Joey. Man. I'm just trying. I got to get double the clicks. I get them to listen to the audio and then come back and check the video. So
need that engagement for sure. No, I appreciate.
I gave them some of that. Joey, when you knew you were going to come on, we did a little pre-production communication here, and I did offer if there were any items. Were there any items that you wanted to talk about, like any additional layers? I thought we've learned some stuff about you, but were there anything that you wanted to maybe talk about or offer, and we didn't get to it because man, we 57 minutes in. This thing went fast.
Yeah, I did. No, I like to always talk about financial planning. There's a big divide in this country with people that are prepared for the future and just living in the now. And I'm seeing a lot of people struggle to both make ends meet, but also overspending on things that don't matter instead of planning for their future. And I was reading an article in the Business Journal a couple of days ago, and there's only, I think, 8% of adults in America that have at least 100K saved in their retirement portfolios. And that's of all ages of Americans. And that's tough to hear. So I think one of my future callings is to become an educator of finances and get people locked in for their future and make sure that they can actually retire when they're 65 and live the rest of their life in peace and not work till they're dead. So it's a passion of mine for the future, and I'm always down to talk about that to anybody that wants to listen. So
if they do want to talk to you, how could they follow social media, website? Yeah. How can we keep in touch with Joey Way?
Yeah, I got 2 Instagram accounts. I got one personal, one for the real estate business. Real estate business is at Right Way Realty ATX. Personal Instagram is at the Joey Way. Super easy to find. I'm everywhere. I'm in Austin. Come and see me. If you want to grab lunch, network, anything, I'm super about it. But yeah, man, this has been a really good opportunity, and I appreciate you having me on.
Joey, this was good. And again, I like what you said at the beginning. I got to bring you back, brother. I got to bring you back.
Man.
I enjoyed myself. I know there's a few more things I want to get to, but that's all right. I like to leave that meat on the bone, and that allows us to come back and I can just continue on. But most importantly, Joey Wade, thanks for talking with Donato. Have a good night.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate it.